The Nintendo Switch era was a nice fresh start for Nintendo. The Wii U was a bit of a failure, that could be even considered an understatement, and the Switch was a chance for them to make it big and come back. And they already nailed it with the hybrid setup of the Switch itself. You know, it was very interesting to have gaming be so accessible. You could take it on the go or put it on the TV or both. But they also utilized software, with Mario Odyssey being an ingenious take on the 3D platforming genre. In The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, inventing a new genre, being, kind of an open air style of game. And I feel like overall their attitude kind of changed. You could even see it with the marketing kind of going for more of a broad, more mature style, going for that core gamer, not just like families and trying to convince parents to buy a Wii U. One thing that was really interesting I found was that they did a little bit more of a focus to lyrical songs, if anything. Obviously, video games are known for their non-lyrical music. It's going in the background, and it's usually big orchestral stuff or stuff like that traditionally. But there's 3 games in particular I want to talk about that had a vocal song starring in the game, and Nintendo kind of made a big deal about these, and I just thought it was kind of interesting. Each story is a bit different. So starting with Super Mario Odyssey, I think we all know Jump Up Superstar was such a big song. Starring at E3 2017, you had such a nice, bright, charming, and exciting song blasting that trailer as you saw all the amazing things you could do in the game. It was just exhilarating. I remember being so excited, popping off, looking at all the new features and whatnot. Meanwhile, this exciting song is playing, and it's like, wow, lyrics in a Nintendo song? Like, everyone kind of pointed that out and saw it as kind of different, but it was just so exciting. And then seeing all these mind-blowing things happen within the trailer was just so cool, and honestly, it still gives me chills to this day. The song itself is kind of interesting. It's a take on like a swing tune, big band style swing tune, and I personally love it because I'm into jazz and that big band type era. The vocals are super nice and has that charming feel to it that kind of alludes back to those music styles of back in the day, and obviously the big band is phenomenal. And I still love this song. Honestly, I'd listen to this unironically because it just slaps so hard. The one thing about the song is I feel like it has a little bit of a kiddish feel about it. It's just totally kind of like a kid theme song in a way. The way it kind of talks about, I don't know, it's almost like Pauline, or the vocalist, is talking to you in a way where it's like, come on, let's have an adventure, as opposed to like, yeah, let's go. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know, I feel like it's kind of like a kid's theme song in a certain way, but it still has that style of the oldies swing big band feel. So I don't know, it's a bit conflicting to listen to, and it's not for everyone, but it's just such a fun part. And it's a big part in the game too. Once you get to New Donk City, you'll have that awesome level where you're going through the Donkey Kong stage and you get up to Pauline and she's dancing and singing, and it's an exhilarating moment that is just so fun within the game. And then at the end of the game, they surprise you again with another lyrical song at the end, playing with the final boss, and I thought that was kind of funny that they, doubled down on the lyrical song, but it was just made that part more exciting because you got that surprise. And I feel like Nintendo realizes how big of a deal it is to put lyrics into songs, as silly as that sounds, because games are more known for non-lyrical. So I remember being kind of surprised at that, but I didn't eye roll, but I was like, all right, Nintendo, I see what you're trying to do here. It's fun. I don't know, I feel like this is so iconic. We all still know and love it. I feel like it defines the Switch era as a song, and you have Mario dancing to it in New York, and it was a big deal. It was even sung at the Game Awards that year, which was fun. I don't know, it was just a fun way, and in a way I feel like obviously it was like, yay Mario, new 3D Mario, but also I felt like it was Nintendo being like, we're bringing it, come on, let's have some fun, buckle up for this generation. That's how I felt, at least. They're like, oh my gosh. Speaking of being back, we had the return of another Smash Bros. Game, being Super Smash Bros. Ultimate the year after, in 2018. Hype was going crazy at the time. We had so much discussion, anticipation, and everything, and the final direct was on November 1st, which was, I believe, like a month and 7 days before the release. And it was going great. You had great reveals and whatnot. But to end the trailer, they had a World of Light trailer going over the single player mode, which is supposed to kind of be like the spiritual successor of the one in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, which had it was just over the top epic. It was almost funny how epic they're trying to make that with the Subspace Emissary. And so I feel like they were matching that with this trailer, which you had voice acting for some of the Smash characters talking, you had this big dramatic thing, and a big foe to go with, and you ended up with Kirby at the end. And then the lyrics started coming in, this amazing orchestral song with excellent lyrics. And I remember being so excited. Again, it was kind of like mind-blowing to have that lyrical song because it just showed the production value, show how big of a scale this game was on. And I feel like it was pretty cool. Like, I love the background music. The arrangement is phenomenal. I love the progression of the song. It's just super good. And a lot of it is kind of, I don't know how to describe it, but sort of just like meaningless, cool sounding words, like colors weave into a spire of flame. Like, I feel like a lyric like that, it sounds kind of cool, but if you think about it, it feels kind of like translation without localization, as in it's like, all right, it sounds cool in Japanese, makes sense in Japanese, let's just translate it to English, and all right, this works, so we'll go with that and not change it too much. I feel like it's a lot of just big epic speak, which works for the song and for the theme of the game, but I just find it funny when you actually sit down and listen to it. It's just kind of meaningless. Anyway, I feel like it really put up the hype of this adventure mode. I feel like with how it is, it's not that good of a mode, and I feel like a lot of people were not as interested in it once it came out. It was just a bunch of spirit battles with a couple cutscenes and a world map. So I don't know how much people actually liked it, but I feel like the song that they had did the job and made people super hyped about what this could be. And I feel like it did the job pretty well. In-game, it plays every time you open up the game, but also I just know it as like the first measure playing, and then you skip. But I like the way the melody is used throughout the game, like most Smash Bros. Games do. I overall quite like it. I think it was fun. Obviously, Odyssey was a big deal, where you had such an epic game to go alongside it with a moment that lived up to the song. Whereas the adventure mode wasn't that good, but we had that moment. Smash is just known for its moment leading up to release, and so I feel like that made it worth it overall. So the last one, I only learned about it early 2025, which obviously this game came out in April 2022, and that's Kirby and the Forgotten Land. This game is obviously the first 3D Kirby game in many, many years of Kirby existing, and it's a pretty big deal. I think the main big deal is that it's in 3D, and the world itself, I mean, it's kind of cool that it's based on real life, the ruins and whatnot, but it's been done before, especially like a fish out of water or, you know, someone coming into a new environment. It's nothing too crazy, but there's a lyrical song in the opening of the game that emphasizes the fact that it's a crazy new world, and it's called Welcome to the New World in capitals. And what I find funny about this is that you get through the first level, you're in the city, right, and you're already playing, going through the city, and then you finish like that beginning level, and then the opening plays, and it's like, wow, you're in this strange new world, this is crazy, but you've already gotten the world reveal, so the world isn't that mind-blowing. And kind of like World of Light, the lyrics are clearly just like translated from Japanese and not localized, which is kind of funny. It's just a kind of a bit of fluff of like, come on, it's a new world, all so unique and crazy and new, you got this, run free, you know, that's kind of all it's saying, which was fun, but it was just kind of weird for a Kirby game. Kirby games are known for their lesser scope, I feel. They're more simple 2D platformers, and I know this one's a 3D platformer and they're upping the scope, but I feel like this song didn't hit as much because I was already kind of playing the game, and it's still just a Kirby game. I mean, the 3D is great, but I feel like lining it up with an epic new Smash Bros. Game, an outstanding, unique new Mario game, I feel like the lyrical song is a bit less effective here. What's cool is that it's in Japanese, so it kind of has that anime opening vibe, and the vocalist is really good. And you also get lyrics on screen, which is kind of funny, which makes sense because I played in English, but it also makes it seem more like a music video, which I found kind of funny. Like they're trying to hit that like pop feel to it, like mainstream, here's a music video. And the video itself is just Kirby driving through the city looking around like, wow, this is so cool. Like, I don't know, I feel like it didn't match any of the vibes. It didn't have what the other ones had. It didn't have a cool moment going with it, you know, kind of just driving through the city. The visuals are very stagnant. which makes the song feel kind of long. There's nothing even that cool to look at, it's just a ruined city and Kirby driving through it. Seems like they tried a third time because they knew those other 2 times worked, and it just didn't quite hit the mark, I feel. It's also funny because Kirby's been to outer space. Kirby has like fought gods. So going to a rundown city isn't like this crazy new world. So I feel like the message there is a bit off. It's just a 3D game, which is outstanding. But in 2022, I don't know if this was as fitting as well. I do love it, and I love that we have a lyrical song for Kirby. And I just listened to it. It's a fun song, but it just did not hit the mark of these other 2 games as well. And that's totally fine. I'm glad we have this. What I'm curious about is how Nintendo will use lyrical songs in the future to emphasize a big moment. It seems like that's how they use it. Emphasize the cool new Mario with all these crazy mechanics, emphasize a crazy epic Super Smash Bros. Game, emphasize a 3D Kirby game for the first time. I don't know how they could use it. Maybe for Mario Kart, they could use that and show that, you know, it's a more open game or open-ended game. Or maybe for big moments and stories, they'll use it a bit more. Obviously in Splatoon, they've used the Inkling language for lyrics for like all their songs, so I guess maybe this is less unique. But for real though, I'm curious to see if they'll keep this trend up. You got 2017, 2018, 2022. We're due for one. Come on, Nintendo. Give us a lyrical song. I need to sing. I need a new song to bring into karaoke. I haven't been kicked out of a bar since 2022. Like, please, I need a new song. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on these lyrical songs in the comments below. Should we get more? Which one of these hit the most? What's your favorite? What's your least favorite? Let me know in the comments below. Like if you liked, dislike if you didn't, and consider subscribing to Here Goes Nothing.